Hey YouTube, good morning. It is Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, and this is Mark Learns Tech. You'll have to excuse me, I'm coming down on a little bit of a stomach flu, but for some reason I had like a sore throat and stuff. So I had gone back home to see my kid for the weekend, and unbeknownst to me, he had strep throat. Well, on Friday when I went to go pick him up from school, um, he ended up getting he ended up catching a stomach bug that he didn't have symptoms until later on, and thus giving me the stomach bug on Sunday. So, um, I took a couple of days off work, went to the doctor, took a couple of antibiotics, and now I'm good to go. Good to go. Um, so as we can see here, there the assignment that I'm working on is it's called I believe it's called Sal's Shipping Pie or something like that. And so basically, it's determining. Basically, what I'm doing here. I mean, this is still syntax, folks. I mean, I'm not. This isn't anything out of the ordinary. I'm still learning the fundamentals, the meat and potatoes, if you will, of the A, B's, and C's, if you will, of Python. Just understanding syntax, functions, variables. In this particular assignment, I'm working on elif statements, and so the the goal is to write something that can determine the best shipping. So there's three shipping options. It's ground shipping. I think there's like a plus, and then there's drone shipping, which is like the ultimate. And so you have to make, this ship if how is it? If you have this, if the package is between this weight and this weight, it's this much. If it's between this weight and this weight, it's this much. And there's a bunch of parameters that are set for the ground, and then the plus, which is like one tier above, and then it's the drone, which is like the best, right? It's the S class of fucking of shipping. I think the plus, which is the mid tier, you add like $100 or something like that, and yeah, there it is, flat charge, 125, whatnot, and there's no price per pound. Excuse me, there's no weight. It doesn't go based off weight, which, come to think about it, I haven't gotten that far in the assignment, but um, yeah, for whatever reason. So listen, I tried doing the first part, which is the this is my this is my beef with Code Academy, and maybe I'm sure it's just my fault. I just haven't been able to wrap my head around it. I tried executing the first part. I'm gonna skip ahead of. I know that the video is only showing you so much, but I tried executing the first part or running it or saving the program. I think it says down there. And for whatever reason, it wouldn't do the first part. It wouldn't. But I ended up copying and pasting all this stuff, all these if and functions and else statements onto VSC, Visual Studio Code, and it would work. It would spit out a number like, okay, go with this option or go with that option. So I think it's one of those where I have to finish it all the way through, um, and then execute it, and then it'll like because for this for this part I only do the ground shipping, but I think that's the only thing I can think of because I remember, I mean, I only show you guys 15-20 minutes of screen of screen recording, but I was looking at this thing for fucking, I don't want to say hours, but at least an hour. At least. And I went back and forth and I checked my semicolons or whatever. I checked what is it? I think they're called operator. Yeah. The greater than operator or the whatever operators, which is like the less or equal to, greater or equal to. Um, But further down the line, it makes sense. Like I'm just trying all these other things, and I'm like, well, this doesn't. And I end up going to the because Code Academy has this thing where you can skip ahead, or I think it's like a help function. It basically it's a cheat sheet. It tells you what it's supposed to look like. What's the code is supposed to look like once you're done. And at least the first part looked identical to mine. But then again, I didn't finish it all the way through. It was just the ground shipping part as opposed to the other two tiers. And so I don't know. I'll have to circle back and try it again and see where I went wrong. I don't like skipping ahead because I feel like if I just skip ahead, that's a concept I missed. So I'll definitely have to do it all over again, even if I have to do this part all over again. Uh, like, see, there I go. Um, and then I also struggle. I also struggle with. So what I was saying is, I struggle with looking for the like with getting unstuck with looking for with looking at the cheat sheet. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people have that problem. I don't know if you guys have it or not, but that's one of those things where I feel like I'm shortchanging myself and I'm not learning and actually going through it. But sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. But I hate it because I'm like, okay, did I really get it? Or did I just see, like, do I really understand why it's like that? And so, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This one, in my opinion, was getting a little bit tougher. The Magic 8 Ball one, excuse me, I had a big breakfast. Yeah, jeez, Christ. Well, two bowls of cereal, that'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, so, you know, here you can tell right away, if, so this is further along in the video. I prefer adding the audio to these videos only because at that point in time, maybe I'm listening to music, maybe I got something else going on. But you see, the assignments are getting a little bit more trickier. It's not so much ifs, elifs, else. It's like, okay, if this equals this, if that equals that, if that equals that. And um and then towards the end, you've got the actual like piecing it together. Cost is, and then you get to input your uh, your weight. So in this case, it would be 8 pounds. I think I go with 8.4, and it's supposed to spit. What's your best option? But yeah, guys. So my apologies for not uploading any videos the last couple of days. I draw the line whenever I go see my kid with all things, and so I ended up getting sick. Took a couple of days off. Recorded some more stuff on Code Academy as I'm learning. I intend to do this for 6 months. Well, the Python course for 6 months and see what I get from it. I still don't know if I'm gonna if I want to choose software development or data analysis. I was also considering taking a look at because I think they're the same price. This and the Google um, data analyst certificate or data analytics program online. And there's also a good couple of jobs. There's a handful of jobs in my area that deal with that. So I'm like, man, I don't know, that sounds really attractive, but who knows? I'm gonna give this time. I feel like 6 months. Actually technically I'm already 3 months down the line. It's already I've been doing this since December, on and off, but I've been doing it since December. It's already March. I'm gonna give it 3 more months, see how much I can plow through, and then I might actually just record a bunch of this, like two or three, and then make the videos later. But since I'll be off the next couple of days, I'll be uploading a couple more videos very, very soon. I'm gonna just try to do them off the rip, and yeah, if anybody else is also taking these courses or going through a career change, let me know. Um, I find this stuff super interesting. It's a little bit tough to focus on, but um, just understanding how the syntax is can get a little tricky in my opinion. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I even consider IT because I look at my previous jobs, and I remember really dreading working behind a desk. I don't know if anybody's ever had that feeling of like, oh my gosh. Now that being said, well, the jobs that I had behind a desk weren't as technical as being an accountant or being a software developer or whatnot. But in all the jobs I've had behind a desk, I was still behind a desk. I was inside an office. One was in a hospital. One was in a government building. One was, I guess, The other one had a. I've had a handful of jobs, people. So one of them was actually a paint store, and that one was kind of cool because there was the business side, which is the charging customers and the transactional part. It's not really selling because it's retail. Well, we did have a commercial arm, but for the most part, I did retail. And then there was the paint part, which you got to mix the paint, you got to fuck with the paint, unloading it. There was that part where I wasn't just sitting down all day, and I really admired that. Well, even when I was in Austin, I got to work in I got a chance to work in medical equipment in the setup of medical equipment, and that was kind of cool, man. I met some pretty interesting people like that, but I wasn't behind a desk, and all the jobs that I attribute to, even my current job now, I enjoy not being behind a desk, and it's a security position, but nonetheless, um, it's fun. And then the people are pretty badass too. So there's that. So I don't know. Because of that, sometimes I think of IT, but then I think, well, if I'm gonna apply some more IT here, chances are I'll end up working by myself because the companies that I want to apply to, they have like a small, it's a close knit IT group. It's not like like 10, 15 people. It's not. I mean, it's South Texas. So I don't know, folks. I don't know. This is all this is all a learning curve, but I'm enjoying it. Just lucky to be employed, have a good job, and I go into work a little bit later, so I'm fixing to start getting ready soon. But yeah, this was the first iteration. I'm gonna probably do this as a three part. I'm gonna try to squeeze it up into a two part, but this is Sal's shipping program or salshipping.py, and it's basically this is the first part, the first tier of the cheapest shipping method, and I do a bunch of if statements, and I basically it doesn't work. I try running it, I get a bunch of errors. It fucks up. I'm sure I did something wrong. I just gotta pinpoint it, and I'm gonna go back at it again and fuck with it some more until I get it to work. The next one should be this the plus, which is the second tier, and then the drone, which I think has like its own weight and stuff like that. So I'll make a second video of it. Maybe I just gotta add that and then press run, and then it'll work. Um, yeah, hope everybody's having a good day. If you guys are on this, how long did it take you? Is it taking you that long? Is this something that you guys have been able to knock out in an hour? Also, are you guys, those of you that are doing this, are you coming from other careers? Are you already in IT? Are you in law enforcement? Are you in the service industry? Do you work at a bank? I mean, geez. Earlier when I mentioned that I had a lot of jobs, I actually used to work at a bank. I used to work at a credit union. Um, God, I hated that job. And it was also because I used to work behind a desk. God, I hated that job. It's funny. I'll take a desk job any day, but if you pay me. But if you're paying me $9 an hour part time, it's like, come on, bro, get the fuck out of here. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I will post another video in the next couple of days. Stay tuned, and I'll see you till next time. Bye bye. So, if you guys haven't already put two and two together, I there's a lot of the terms that I don't know within Python. So I'm gonna call them something else only because that's not really what I'm focused on right now. I'm still just trying to learn like what happens if I do this and run it as opposed to what doesn't happen. Super, super early baby steps, right? Baby steps. And so I'm not good, I'm definitely gonna get the terminology and the right words mixed up. Also, I want to say I've said this before, but I'll say it again. This is not a learn to code with Mark. This is check out Mark learning to code. So if that interests you or if you think it's entertaining, please, by all means, like, comment, subscribe, everything, right? But more importantly, if you're someone that's also changing careers, or I don't want to say changing careers. That's kind I mean that's super this is super early on, but if you're thinking or considering of going at your current job to something else, and it doesn't have to be programming, but let's say you're taking a wood shop class or like a welding class, and you stumbled across my video, let us know how it's going. I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing here. Let us know how it's going. What are the things you've had to overcome? Is it like, fuck, this is actually kind of cool, or is it one of those things where it hasn't you haven't found the interest in it yet, but you're still going, you're still showing up, so to speak. I'm more than confident that there's other people going through this, and would love to hear from you guys. Take care.